Darlington doesn't just host a race, it summons one. That worn, legendary oval rises out of the South Carolina like a relic carved by speed itself, a place where the walls carry scars and the asphalt remembers every mistake. Drivers call it the Lady in Black, but lately she's been feeling more like a queen demanding tribute, and this year the garage has been buzzing. Veterans, rookies, and even the usually reserved voices in the field have all hinted at the same thing. This could be one of the best Darlington races we've seen in years. The track is aging in all the right ways. The cars are edgy, the cars are faster, the tires wear out more, and the drivers know they'll have to flirt with danger just to stay in the fight. Darlington is ready to take its pound of flesh. The only question is who's brave enough to dance with the Lady in Black. Welcome to race 6 of the 2026 NASCAR Cup Series season. It's the Goodyear 400 from the Darlington Raceway here in Darlington, South Carolina. And MDK Racing is going to give you everything you need to know for this race, including the weather. It is going to be hot here in Darlington, South Carolina. Temperature in the low 90s, southwest wind through the racetrack at 10 miles an hour, but wind gusts as high as 31 miles an hour, but no rain in sight, and green flag is scheduled for 3:12 p.m. Eastern Time on FS1. Welcome everyone back to episode of MDK Racing. My name is Jed. Hope you're having a wonderful day. That is right, Darlington Raceway is here, one of the most anticipated races so far this season. So many drivers have said with the updated or with more horsepower coming into play, the tires are wearing out more, even less downforce than what we had last year. This could be an awesome, unpredictable Darlington race. But while there are a lot of things that are unpredictable that we don't know, one thing we do know is what happened last Sunday at Las Vegas with Denny Hamlin winning the race. But one thing has not changed is the driver at the top of the podium. That is Tyler Reddick in the 45 car, once again the points leader, but right back in second is his teammate Bubba Wallace, 2311 Racing, still the best team currently at the moment. First and second, Ryan Blaney falls to third. Denny Hamlin, like I said, the biggest mover, jumps up 8 spots with his win, and Chase Elliott in 5th. Christopher Bell 6th, and then HMS teammates Larson and Byron 7th and 8th, each up 3 positions. Chris Buescher in 9th, and Ty Gibbs with his 3rd straight top 5 finish to start the season, up 5 spots to now crack the top 10. Joe Logano loses 4 positions down to 11th, and Brad Keselowski, that leg injury has not slowed him down by any means. He's up 4 positions and now in 12th in the chase. 13th is his teammate Ryan Preece, up 5 positions. Michael McDowell in 14th, Carson Hocevar in 15th, and Shane Van Gisbergen, the biggest loser, loses 11 positions with his last place finish at Vegas. He is now 16th in the point standings, but he is tied at the moment with Daniel Suarez, his former teammate, who is now down to 17th. AJ Allmendinger in 18th, -5. Zane Smith 19th, Ross Chastain up 3, Nemechek up 1, Kyle Busch loses 2, and Riley Herbst now back in the picture, at least in this graphic, 23rd, -169 behind Tyler Reddick, and 31 points below the cut line. Busch, the official beer of NASCAR and proud sponsor of the Busch Light Polo Award, given to the fastest driver at each NASCAR Cup Series event. Busch Light congratulates Tyler Reddick for his 13th career Cup Series pole and his 224th career start. It's his 2nd pole at Darlington and his 1st pole since the Charlotte Roval last October. Wins pole with the speed of 169.152 miles per hour. Since 2020, Busch Beer has invested more than $50 million in being a premier sponsor of the NASCAR Cup Series. So let's take a look at the starting lineup for the 2026 Goodyear 400. Like I said, 2311 Racing is on a new level, or not another level I should say. Not only are they 1 and 2 in the standings, they're also 1 and 2 to start the race off. Reddick, who has finished 2nd multiple times, starting alongside Bubba Wallace, who has a few top 10s to his name here at the track. Too tough to tame. Row 2 has HMS teammates. How about this? Look at this top 10. Row 1, 2311 Racing teammates. Row 2, HMS teammates, Chase Elliott in the 9, and former Darlington winner Kyle Larson in the 5. Row 3 is RFK teammates, Brad Keselowski, who won here in the spring of 2024, alongside Chris Buescher in the 17 ride. And then row 4 and row 5, you have 2 RCR teammates. Sprinkled in the middle is a Penske driver and a Joe Gibbs driver. Row 4, Ryan Blaney in the 12, and Kyle Busch, another former winner here at Darlington, in the 8. Excellent run for him. And then round of the top 10 is Denny Hamlin, a 5-time Darlington race winner, starting alongside Austin Dillon in the 3 car. Row 6, Daniel Suarez, another great qualifying start for him in that 7 ride, starting alongside Austin Cindric in the 2. Row 7 has William Byron, who won here in the spring of 2023, starting alongside Riley Herbst, a great qualifying run for him. Row 8, Justin Allgaier back in the 48 car, subbing in for Alex Bowman, who's currently experiencing vertigo symptoms, starting alongside Carson Hocevar, throwing it back to Dale Earnhardt in the 1981, I believe, throwback Chili's 77 ride. Row 9 has Ryan Preece in the 60 car, starting alongside Ricky Stenhouse Jr. in the 47, and round of the top 20 is Zane Smith and Michael McDowell. Row 11 has John Nemechek starting alongside Christopher Bell. Shocking 22nd starting position for him. Row 12 is a pair of two-time Southern 500 winners, Chase Briscoe in the 19 and Eric Jones in the 43 throwback car. Row 13 has Ross Chastain in the 1, starting alongside Josh Berry in the 21. AJ Allmendinger and Ty Gibbs make up row 14, and around the top 30 is Joey Logano in the 22, another shocking qualifying position for him and Noah Gragson. Row 16 has Todd Gillen and rookie Connor Zilic, Jay Van Gisbergen and Cody Ware. Row 17, row 18, Cole Custer and Ty Dillon, and Timmy Hill starting in 37th, rounding out the 2026 Goodyear 400. 3 drivers will be losing their pit selection and their car tube due to inspection issues failing twice. That'll be Chase Elliott, Chris Buescher, and Timmy Hill. Now let's go the odds to win here at Las Vegas. Tyler Reddick is at plus 300 odds with Kyle Larson at 600, Denny Hamlin at 750, William Byron at 1,000 alongside Ty Gibbs and Brad Keselowski. Then some big names with some pretty big odds. Bubba Wallace at 1,100, Chase Briscoe, a steal at 1,200, Ryan Blaney at 1,400 alongside Chase Elliott. Then some real big dark horses. You got Chris Buescher at 1,800, Bell, Hocevar at 2,000, Busch, Logano, and Eric Jones, a two-time Southern 500 winner at 3,000 odds, Austin Cindric at 4,000, Chastain 4,500, Priest 6,500, and Austin Dillon sitting at a whopping 8,000 plus odds. Now it's time for you to make the call. Every week I make a post on my YouTube discussion board asking you guys a simple question: what do you think could happen, or make a prediction? What do you think could happen here at Darlington? The first one comes from Jamie Weitzer 8469, who says, I don't see a previous 26 Cup winner in Victory Lane this weekend, and I'm not confident we see a Hendrick car there either. If not, I think it's time to begin raising the red flag literally on the entire HMS organization. Remaining winless 1/6 of the way through the season would surely be a first in HMS history. Well, I don't think that's true. I mean, I could be wrong, but I believe 2018, because I think in 2018, I believe only Chase Elliott won a race. I think he was the only one. I believe Byron, Bowman, and Johnson went winless that year, but Chase, I think, won, but that was later in the season, like much later in the season. So, but I think this all revolves around the new Chevy body. I mean, they come up with basically an updated Camaro version of this car that they revealed this year. So they're still working out the kinks and everything like that, but I do feel like this race, Aero's not going to be the name of the game. This race is going to be all about tire management, keeping your tires clean, making it last. This is not going to be a race about Aero, I feel like, which is really good news. So while I don't think that HMS will have an issue with that, I mean, you do have to look at some of the contenders like the Toyotas. They are extremely fast. Even some of the Fords could be some sleepers like RFK drivers, Keselowski and Buescher. But obviously you do have to look at row 3. I mean, Chase Elliott and Kyle Larson, they're up there. Byron, he could be a contender. He is a former winner here at Darlington. So I wouldn't say maybe like a red flag, depending on how well they perform. If they perform well, I don't think it's a red flag, but it is something to keep a note on. Next one comes from Danny Alex 7152, who says, if this race truly involves tire management per rumors, then give me Hamlin to win. Personally though, I would love to see one of the RFK cars win. Do it for Biffle. I mean, obviously, absolutely. I mean, first off, those RFK tribute cars look absolutely phenomenal. My personal favorite is Chris Buescher, the blue and white car. That's my favorite, but all three, they look incredible in tribute to Greg Biffle. But I mean, yeah, like I said, they're sleepers, all of them, I would say. I mean, Ryan Preece, he somehow is always in the mix. Brad Keselowski won here in the spring of 2023 and won, I believe, in the fall of 2018, won the Southern 500. Chris Buescher nearly won the race last year, I believe, or 2 years ago, the race that Keselowski won if it wasn't for Tyler Reddick. So yeah, I would not definitely put that out of the question if RFK drivers have a shot at winning this race. But if it does involve tire management, you do have to look at the main contenders like your Hamlin, like even your Kyle Busch drivers, Ryan Blaney, drivers that can make a run or make a long run last at its max. You got to look at those drivers. And finally, the Braden Bunch 58 says, I feel like the Toyotas are going to be very strong this weekend. They've won all the races except one, Ryan Blaney at Phoenix, and I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. That's why I got Chase Briscoe getting the dub here at the track Too Tough to Tame. That's a very interesting one, especially because when you consider the fact on how deep Chase Briscoe is starting. They've always been playing catch-up mode so far in 2026, and most of the time it's not their fault, but still, regardless, they are playing in catch-up mode, and today is no different. This race, like I said, is going to be exciting. I feel like this could be one of the most exciting Darlington races we have seen in a long time. The combination of the tires wearing out more horsepower, even less downforce, a more simplified diffuser. I'm excited, but like one in the comments mentioned, like, if it does revolve around tire management, you do have to look at the drivers, the big name drivers that are able to rise up. So your Denny Hamlin, you have to look at. You got to look at also Kyle Busch. I would take a look at him. I look at Ryan Blaney, maybe William Byron, Chase Elliott. I look at drivers like that it's more of a traditional NASCAR race where it's like it's in the driver's hands. You have to actually take care of your car. You can't just go all out full throttle. Brad Keselowski is another one I feel like that could be a very big sleeper in this race because I feel like it plays more to the old, or should I say the old guys, to the veterans' hands. But that does not mean you cannot point out some of the sleepers. 2011 Racing, Tyler Reddick, who has finished second, 2 or 3 times? He is due for a win at Darlington. I know, due for a win. I mean, the guy's won everything so far. 3 out of the 4 or 3 out of the 5 races he's won, so he's chilling the winning, but still, he has a great shot to win. And the lap he put out during qualifying was incredible. I mean, absolutely incredible. You also look at the driver next to him, and that is Bubba Wallace. Bubba Wallace also a driver I feel like that this race could play into his hands. He's always been playing second fiddle to Tyler Reddick. This could be an opportunity for him to be the one that goes out on top at 2011 Racing, and he is very much capable of doing that. Has finished in the top 10 multiple times here at Darlington. He knows how to run well here. Now he has had faster cars this year. He's starting in second place, more confidence. He can definitely be a contender for this race. But I also have to look at some other dark horses. You have to look at Eric Jones. Eric Jones is like Austin Dillon at Richmond, but with more talent. I don't know why, but as soon as Eric Jones comes to Darlington, he just lights up a fuse. You have to also look at Eric Jones because if this race does go into a long run, we're going to see a lot of comers and goers. So just because the drivers that you see up front, they're not going to stay up front. I do expect to see a lot of the drivers in the mid-pack, like your Chase Briscoes, like your Eric Jones, maybe even your Joey Logano's that starting very, very deep in the field can make their way up towards the front. This race is going to feature a lot of comers and goers, a lot of pit strategy, just a lot of exciting racing, unpredictable racing because you're going to have to really take care of your tires. As we take a look at our Fantasy Live lineup, I got on my phone right here. So we got Richard Morris, 22, once again at the top of the podium with 1,133 points. Second place is HMS Fan for Life. Denny Delivers in third. Speed Racer in fourth. Cole Rainwater in fifth. Again, make sure you sign up. I think about now is probably the last day you can sign up and actually still make up points because from this point onwards, it's going to get very tough. But we already have, I think, over 60 members. Absolutely incredible. Thank you so much to everybody who has signed up. Again, we'll be posting this every single week on MDK RaceDay to see who stacks where. Now, last Sunday, Las Vegas was almost perfect, basically. I mean, my driver, Denny Hamlin, I picked him to win. I had him in my lineup. I'm hoping I can go 2 for 2. My fantasy lineup for this weekend, I got Ryan Blaney, Denny Hamlin, Chase Elliott, Bubba Wallace. Then I got Tyler Reddick, his teammate, and I got Ty Gibbs in my garage. Ty Gibbs, I mean, I'm just gonna keep in my garage. He's had 3 top 5 finishes the last 3 races. He has ran well at Darlington, and he was not bad in practice. So I'm gonna keep in my garage. I was flirting between Gibbs or Eric Jones, one of the two, but I'm gonna stick with Ty Gibbs. But the driver that I have winning this race is a pole sitter. I got Tyler Reddick. I think he's gonna get his 4th win of 2026. I mean, especially in the 15, 20, 25, 30 lap averages. Car number 45 was number 1, was the best. So best on the short run, clearly winning the pole, and he's also the best on the long run. Hard to argue against that. Also, that team is just entering with so much momentum. When you got momentum on your side, everything just falls in place. So I got Tyler Reddick winning this race to get win number 4 of 2026. But what do you think is going to happen? Let me know in the comment section down below. As always, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more content. Until next time, my name is Jet from MDK. Thanks for watching.